Is the war fierce in The Roses? So, The Roses, the 2025 film from Jay Roach, which is actually loosely based on the novel of the War of the Roses, 1981, in which Danny DeVito's film of 1989, released in the UK in 1990, was very funny, with Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner. I haven't seen it for a while, but I used to watch that. I used to watch that growing up, and my parents really liked that film. They found it very amusing, especially my dad. And there is some very funny scenes. There is a dinner scene in that, which is repeated a little bit in The Roses. I can tell where they've took that source material from, but it's got its own spin. So this time, The Roses with Olivia Colman and Benedict Cumberbatch, directed by Jay Roach. So I was intrigued when I saw this advertised, because I grew up watching The War of the Roses, and I straight away recognised the source material from that trailer. And it's a tough one, because I know it's kind of labelled a remake. It's not directly a remake, because it's loosely based on the same novel, so it's its own spin. So it's very much what I expected. It's its own take, and it is interesting because it's a different spin. I like it when it's like that. I would say it's modernised, because obviously the book was 81. This film uses modern day technology for domestic drama, so it's a modernised
media and stuff.
Yeah, so they've brought it into our modern times with humour as well. And if I'm absolutely honest with you, I mean, it's an okay film, but I did sit there and laugh a lot. It was very entertaining and very funny. I laughed as much at The Roses as I did at The War of the Roses. And there is a dinner scene which is a little bit like the dinner scene from The War of the Roses, and that is actually hilarious. It's a highlight. And the reason it's hilarious is the acting and the characters and the banter and the dialogue. The script really kills it. I do think the performances are good. Someone said to me that they were a bit wooden, but I actually felt like Benedict and Olivia, they played off each other really well. It was actually quite a realistic relationship that they were portraying. The film goes over the top and silly, but then I've had a bit of a strange life with relationships, so is it? Because
it escalates quite dramatically.
Things do escalate in real life, so as much as it's funny, I do actually, in real life, relationships can get out of control like that over silly things. And it is a comedy first and foremost, but there is a tone that is quite sad and serious to see a family break down, which, so it has got some truthful elements that are, they are a bit gut punching when you do see a genuinely nice, fun, functioning family over silly things and misfortunes do become a breakdown like that. So, I think it pulls at the heartstrings a little bit. I won't go into spoilers, but I think if you like The War of the Roses, I do think this is a good retelling with its own take. I do believe that. In general, even if you're just an average film viewer, I think in general it's a fun, entertaining film. I noticed that we were a bit late at seeing this one, but the audience were quite middle-aged women and a few guys in there. It was a certain niche screening, but everyone was giggling and laughing, which is quite funny because some of the language for 15 is actually very strong. It's like, we live in a day now, there's a certain word like the see you next Tuesday. When I was growing up, you'd never hear that in film. They wouldn't dare do it. And then at one point,
there's a few points when they say it in this film.
When I was studying film many years ago, when I was like, this is over 20 years ago, and I was collecting DVDs, that literally saying that naughty word would whack you an 18. It was a thing.
The C word is Olivia Colman's favourite swear word.
But now you've got 15 rated films where they're pumping it out multiple times. It's quite, times have changed. Again, modernise the film that they are, it is more realistic. They are coming out with this colourful language. I think there is some great setups in the film for gags.
We've been rewatching Dexter, and he says in season 4, the Trinity Killer uses it multiple times.
Yes, it's amazing what you see in media now on film and TV. I do. Do you know what though? Jokes aside, that word was used very well last night. So there are some films where
Coleman's delivery of the line.
I've done it myself, where in a film, when I've done the odd film, you can use it a lot and it becomes less impactful and it becomes madness. There's other films and franchises, especially British gangster franchises, that do this. However, this film uses it subtly in a way that it impacts when it hits. It's like a very offensive thing they're doing. Oh, it's very comical. It lands well. It's not overused, by the way, so it's funny. I think it has actually done really well. I also quite like that they are British people that have emigrated to America, and they do joke with this culture clash of Brits and Americans. That is done very well.
The Americans don't understand the witty banter.
The marriage breakdown at the dinner with the culture clash of the Americans not getting the banter is, again, it really all built up to a very funny scene, and it played off very well. There's very larger than life characters in this, like supporting leads, and they are a bit silly, but at the same time it's quite balanced, that they help set up some good gags. These characters are actually quite funny. Honestly, to sit back and forget yourself, which is what we did last night, to sit back and just try and get away from worries and stuff. It's a very fun, entertaining movie. Again, I don't want to say it's not serious, because I do think there is a serious tone under there.
Yeah.
But it is. I came out amused. Like I left that cinema thinking, that did what a film really should do. It entertained me. It was escapism, and I am still thinking about it. It made me laugh. But
we're literally laughing 30 seconds into it.
Yeah.
It starts and you're immediately laughing.
That's another thing. Yeah, the pacing of the film is cool. Like,
yeah.
Films to me can be all over the place. A lot of films. This film, as you said, I literally started with a grin from a gag. And it ended a bit like, the whole film was a consistent, fun, engaging drama. So to me, I do recommend it. I mean, it's a little bit above average to me. I think it's a bit, films these days get panned, and I know people slap films down very quick and easily. I think it was a pretty well made film. It was very entertaining. Go and have a war with the roses.